that Wizard of Oz suite, at the time, no one could play the music of the Wizard of Oz. You see, something that people forget is that movie music is owned by the studios, not by the composers. You see, if you're Aaron Copland or Leonard Bernstein, they and now their families or their estate own their music. But the film studios, the bosses wanted to just hire composers, work for hire. So the music is owned by the studio. That means that if they didn't think anybody would be interested in this music, they don't even publish it. So how do you get it? You either have to restore it, because in the case of MGM, someone who bought the studio threw out most of their music because he thought it was just taking up space, which in a way it was doing. So you have to find other scores and then reconstitute them by listening to the soundtrack. Other studios like Warner Brothers gave their entire library to a university. So this is not a simple issue. In the case of the Wizard of Oz suite, for example, it's incredible to think that that music could not be played by any orchestra in the world. In fact, that suite, which I put together to try and tell the story of the Wizard of Oz without a singer, so how do you take the entire score and tell the story? But I didn't want to have, song, interstitial songs, so, that people can release the soundtrack to the Wizard of Oz. But what if you wanted to play it, or what if you just wanted to listen to that as a tone poem? Various people had restored the orchestration from the shorter score, which gave you all the indications, but again, the original ones were sold for landfill. Then I put that piece together with Tommy Krasker, and we recorded it in our first album, but it was only last year that the owners of the music gave permission to G. Schirmer in America to actually publish it and rent it. So now if people listen to this and their orchestra wants to play that suite from The Wizard of Oz, they can actually do it. But that's part of the challenge here. It's not just a question of whether orchestras want to play this music, but how do you get it? Who rents it? Where do you get it from? And that's changing since we made these recordings, but rather slowly.